Faith doesn't always look like confidence. Sometimes faith looks like starting scared, starting unsure, starting without answers. And we miss so many moments with God because we want reassurance before obedience, when reassurance often comes after.
I'ma work what I got. Yeah, I'm walking in grace. Walking in grace. Got that fire inside. You can see it on my face. Yeah, won't hide my light. I'm built for the spot. God gave me
Real faith, real talk, real
all I
life.
need. I'ma work what I got. Yeah, ain't waiting on perfect. I'm moving it.
Hey fam, welcome to Work What You Got. Here we talk about all things life, how to deal with it, how to work with it, and sometimes how to just survive it. It's so good to see y'all and talk to you again. Let's go ahead and jump right in. So today's topic kind of came out of something I didn't expect. It actually come from me working on another episode topic. Usually, when God gives me a topic for a Work What You Got episode, He gives me the topic and the direction. I know what He wants me to say. I know where He wants me to go. But this time, He didn't. The topic He gave me was for an episode called God Knew. And that was it. No outline, no clarity, no direction, just the title. And I actually sat with it for days. I kept asking God, okay, God knew what? God knew my mistakes. God knew my flaws. God knew my future, and nothing came. I waited. I prayed. I thought. I overthought. And the longer I sat there, the more uncomfortable I got, because I'm used to clarity before I move. And that's when I realized something. I was waiting on God to give me the full message, but God was waiting on me to take the first step. And finally I said, okay, God, I'll just start. I didn't have the whole message. I didn't have the full direction. I didn't even know how it would end. But I opened the document. I wrote the title. I typed the first sentence. And that's when God showed up. Not before, not while I was sitting and waiting, but after I moved. The message didn't come until I started typing. The clarity didn't come until I was obedient. And it hit me. Sometimes God doesn't give you the full picture because the picture is revealed in the movement. We want God to explain everything before we obey, but obedience is what unlocks understanding. The instruction was already given. The clarity was waiting on the action. Faith doesn't always look like confidence. Sometimes faith looks like starting scared, starting unsure, starting without answers. And we miss so many moments with God because we want reassurance before obedience, when reassurance often comes after. God didn't withhold the message from me. He released it at the moment I was ready to move. And I want you to think for a moment. What has God already told you to do? A book you haven't started? A business you keep planning but never launching? A conversation you keep avoiding? A prayer you've been putting off? A step of healing you keep delaying? You keep asking God for clarity, but God is asking you for movement. Grace wasn't waiting for me at the finish line. The grace was waiting for me at the start. God will meet you where you move. You don't have to know everything. You don't have to see the whole picture. You just have to do the first thing He told you to do. Start there. God will meet you there. I'll see you next time, fam. And remember, stay grounded, protect your peace, and work what you got. God bless.